Continue to carry out the following instruction.
We always fear threat, and threat can be only understandable when that threat is imminent, when you can see and visualize that threat. And that's the way a normal human being actually prepares for any sort of danger or anything that's coming forward to us. But the good news is that 5G is hitting the market, and 5G is going to revolutionize the whole world, right? It's going to bring us so much of speed that doesn't matter if you're using a VR headset and stuff like that, everything is going to be super fast. There is a potential risk about 5G. And today in this channel, we are going to talk about the pros and cons about 5G by demonstrating them, not by just chit chat, you know, like cyber squatting and stuff like that, giving you any sort of false information. We are going to demonstrate them. So how are we going to achieve this high band, you know, like how are we going to achieve this, you know, like immense amount of speed, and that too not for you and me, but for the whole population. 5G is going to use high frequency radio waves. What does that mean? That means that it is going to use a higher bandwidth non-ionizing radiation. Yes, it's a form of non-ionizing radiation. It's called the millimeter waves. Now, on the left top corner, there will be a chart so that you can see it all the single time, because I want you guys to understand this chart, which is right on the left corner. That chart is going to show you the amount of the spectrum and what is millimeter waves and where does millimeter waves lie. So they'll be using bandwidth around 28 to 39 gigahertz. Now, previous cell networks used frequencies like of regular microwaves, which were like 700 megahertz to 3 gigahertz. But 5G also has a problem, and that is the reason 5G is taking a little bit of time to come in. These are not going to be your usual regular long towers which can, you know, like transmit network signals for over kilometers or miles. This is a network that's going to be made in blocks. So for example, if I want to create a tower like this, I'll make a tower out here. Now you check this out. What has happened? What has happened is a mesh network. So this zone will get radiation from every single tower. Just to give you fast network, I have developed a heat zone. But since it develops block by block, so if this is Hollywood, this is a red zone, because now this place will suffer more radiation. If you have a freeway going around, this will be a top priority zone to bring your LTE to your self-automated cars, or, you know, like you have GPS and stuff like that. So for 5G LTE, highways are going to be of prior importance, and this will be a totally radiation maximized zone. What does that depict? Basically, each zone becomes like a microwave, and each microwave, imagine yourself to be entrapped inside a microwave. When you introduce your foot inside it and you start the timer, it heats up. It heats up your food through the help of microwaves. Now the 5G network also has some other problem too. It cannot pass through walls. It will be absorbed by the trees and natural gases. And guess who else is going to absorb the 5G or the millimeter waves? You and me. Yes, us. So all of us who are walking in that environment, we are going to absorb 5G also. So at first there has been no testing, no regulation, no safety guidelines. The departments of public health are not informed totally about any potential health or environmental effect. Probably in the future you're going to see small, you know, like poles like this, which are used as street lamps, will be used as small towers, you know, like, because these millimeter waves, they cannot travel a lot of distance. Due to that, a street or a block like this will actually have a lot of towers, and these towers will create a lot of heat in the neighborhood. And even though the temperature would not be warm, your skin will be heating up and your eyes will constantly dry up, and just because of irritation. Thus, you already talked about risks. Can you tell more about it? Listen to this, what's going to happen. Number one, you're going to damage your eyes. What does that mean? Those millimeter waves are going to form cataracts, but you will see prevalence of cataract rising a lot. It's also going to damage your retina. Then there will be immune system disruption, obviously. By the way, you're also going to get dehydrated a lot. Prime issue for all brothers. For the past few years in developed countries, there has been a very, very big decline in male fertility rate. Yes. A lot of married couples, they're going for surrogacy in underdeveloped countries, and surrogacy has risen up over the past 2-3 years. So who is a surrogate mother? Go to Wikipedia and search for it. You will understand who is it. So what are we looking into? We are looking into terms like oligospermia. What does that mean? It means that something that affects your spermatogenesis, and it actually allows a decrease in motility of sperms. And then you might even see azoospermia totally. There is no motile sperm at all. So due to this, there will be a very, very big decline in fertility. Cold or not, you just have to walk with clothes that will cover the maximum part of your body. And you might have to wear glasses also, because the amount of radiation that these cells will generate, you probably will have eye irritation, and it will actually also burn your skin. And since you saw this excerpt when I was walking into the streets, and I was trying to explain you a figurative way that how it is, how can you save yourself, and I pray that this never happens. There will be a very, very big collapse in insect population. Now you might be thinking, yeah, who cares for insects, right? But guess, the birds and the bats, they feed off insects. If the birds and the bats do not get the food.
What caused the death of 297 birds in a park in The Hague? A new 5G mast, where they had done a test at almost the exact same time as the birds fell from the sky.
Now this may take a lot of time. In a course of 20, 30, 40 years, slowly we are going to see damage to a lot of plants and trees, because they're going to absorb the radiation. Alrighty guys, how are we going to prevent this? Because even if I tell you that it's harmful, even if all the physicians in the world tell you that it's harmful, even if researchers tell you harmful, it's still gonna happen. It's still gonna happen. And our job will be like to prevent this from happening, not by like protesting or taking to the streets, because violence has never given us anything, to be very frank. But there is a way we can change this. Number one is that do leave a comment below, because every opinion you present in this world, the world sees. Every opinion you present in this channel, this opinion will be shared. And I am going to make sure that I promote this video, if it gets a lot of opinions, in different Reddits, so that other people also know and present their opinion in the channel. Now, like or dislike remains upon your hand, whether you like this or not. 5G for me, it doesn't seem very promising until and unless we develop something antidote. I mean, 5G is a need, but it's not that big a need also. You know why? Because fiber optic still holds the cradle of tech. Honest opinions will always matter. Take care.